Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to say a quick thing. If my talking is different, it's because I got two temporary crowns in, so my mouth is all just screwed. Aching in pain, and it's hard to talk because like the temp crowns don't fit properly. So that's the reason why. If I have like a lisp or anything like that, or talking weird, just wanted to say that first. But for you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content. All these videos that get posted to this subreddit here, I'll have this link down below to my post. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. You can ask me questions about the slate leading up to lock. Pretty much anything you need, I will have that link down below. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on Twitter. Right here, I'll have that link down below as well. Sorry for no videos for the past couple days. It's only been like 1 and 2 game slates. It's been pretty disgusting, so I didn't really make any videos for it. But let's go over my lineups from the past couple days. It's been really freaking good. We won't go over those showdown lineups. Where? That's night slate. Here was the next slate. Here's the same slate. And then I believe we have this one and this one. Yeah, I've cashed like every single day, so we're not going to talk too much about my lineups for each of these nights. Where did this slate go? There it is. So I'll just show you guys them. This was a couple days ago. Almost got the full fire nice here. That would have been nice, but easy cash there. This was, I believe, yesterday. Easy cash there. This was yesterday. Easy cash there. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, 2 days ago. Couple days ago, another easy cash there. This might have been yesterday. I don't know. My days are all mixed up, but I didn't think I'd be in a lineup train, but here we are. This was the 2 game slate, so another easy cash. Same thing, easy cash, and here we are. Now we are going over the slate for Friday, so let's just hop right into it. If you're looking for more in-depth content, sportsbook plays, I will have my Discord linked down below. Alright, so Washington at Cleveland, really tough matchup here for Washington. We have Kyle Kuzma out, Malcolm Brogdon out, Sadiq Bey out, Corey Kispert out, Keyshawn George out. Starting lineup for Washington, they could do a number of things. They could go double big here up against Cleveland. They could go Poole, Jonas, Sar, Bali, and Bub. Or they could keep Justin Champagnie in the starting lineup, go Sar at the 5. I think that will be either of the lineups. So if we get like Justin starting at 4.5K, he'd be one of the better value plays on the slate. Just a good point per minute guy that would be thrust into a much larger role. And this slate is kind of lacking for value right now. Still a 4.5K decent price point. So if he starts, I'd like him. Bub, I do expect to start. Minutes are going to be there. Production's going to be pretty up and down, but good thing with him, stat sheet stuffer, can grab a couple rebounds. My only worries here is like Cleveland just blows the doors off Washington, right? And none of these guys do good at their price points. That's my only concern here. I think Champagnie would be my favorite if for some reason he continues to start. Bali is going to play massive minutes. Just that's the thing with him. If the game stays competitive, he is going to play massive minutes. Production, been a bit up and down. Now you have a really tough matchup. I don't think any of these guys are going to be owned. I don't think they're phenomenal plays, but I think with all the usage that needs to go around and the minutes that need to go around in a competitive game, I think, I'd be looking to like Justin if he starts, Jonas if he starts. Sar, I don't mind if they start him at the 5. I'd like him more. I like Jordan Poole if you think they're going to keep this game somewhat competitive. So I think there's some decent nuggets here to like in like Champagnie, Bub, Cooley, I guess. Sorry if he starts at the 5. What was the last time Bagley played? 1208. Yeah. I believe they went with, what was the lineup? Let me just take another look here. I believe Jonas started again. Yeah, it was Jonas. This was with Sar out, so we can't really use that. We have Sar coming back as well. That's why they can go with like double big with Jonas, Sar, or they can keep like Justin in the starting lineup, or they can always go back to like Marvin Bagley. So I will make updates on Reddit when we do get the lineup for Washington tomorrow. That's going to be very, very important. For Cleveland, we have Okoro probable. Last time he played, I believe he's been out for about a week. And then we have Mobley, questionable. If we get Mobley out, I wonder what they're going to do with the starting lineup. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen at the 5. And then it's going to be like Dean Wade, and then one of Okoro Niang would be my guess for the starters here for Cleveland. So if we get Mobley out, I mean, there's going to be a ton to like here. First off, Jared Allen, I would absolutely love if Evan Mobley's out. Donovan Mitchell, I already really like on the slate. If you think the game can stay competitive, Garland would be fine. I like Karis LeVert as a value regardless if Evan Mobley plays or not. And then don't love the value if everyone's in. Sure, you can take shots on like a Dean Wade, a Okoro, Niang, those type guys. Now, and then yeah, if we get Mobley in, I still really like Donovan Mitchell, really like Evan Mobley. I still think Darius Garland's fine. I still like Jared Allen. The top 3 guys look pretty damn good to me, and then I'm still high on Karis LeVert, and I really wouldn't like the values as much. Moving on to the Pacers, we have Nembhard backs, who should get starters of Halliburton, Siakam, Benedict Mathurin, Miles Turner, and Nembhard. Tough matchup here going up against the Sixers, but yeah, I think Nembhard's a decent value off his minutes restriction, so I would expect around 30 minutes for him. Just another guy that's not going to be too productive when he's out there, but a fine value. Obi Toppin at 4.6, I would say he's more priced right. If he's going to get any ownership tomorrow, I would just easily fade that at this price point, but still playable. T.J. McConnell's priced right at 5.2. Miles Turner up in price. Benedict Mathurin. Everyone here is just up in price. I guess my favorite play would be either Siakam or Halliburton, but I don't think there's any must here. Turner in a tough matchup. Mathurin, I guess, is fine. Going to play huge minutes, but price point 7,300. There's not a lot here that I'm loving besides, like, I guess Nembhard, the value, and Halliburton. All right, on these Sixers, there actually is some plays I like here. So Yabusele started last game, but he barely played. We can take a look. I believe he only played like 16 minutes, it was. 14 minutes. And then they just ran a really tight rotation, played more small with McCain off of the bench. Going up against the how do you not love Joel Embiid? If he's going to continue to play for 30 minutes at 9.5K, in a great spot going up against the Pacers. I mean, I really like Joel Embiid tomorrow. I'm praying to God he's low owned. Problem is we don't have a ton of value, but I really like Joel Embiid. I also kind of like Paul George at 8K, assuming he's going to continue to play his mid-30s minutes in a great matchup going up against the Pacers. So I am pretty high on both the Sixers here. Maxi's fine. I can't get to much else here. Kelly Oubre's priced right. Drummond out of play. Yabusele's priced right. I guess Caleb Martin's out. We could keep Yabusele's minutes a bit more safer. Might see a bit more like KJ Martin at 3.8K as well, but like Jared McCain, what's his price? 162. I think it's mainly I really like Joel Embiid, and I also like Paul George quite a bit. Moving on to Charlotte, great spot here. I think you have to have some interest in Charlotte tomorrow. LaMelo out, Miles Bridges questionable, and that's mainly it to keep an eye on. So if Miles Bridges is out, we should get starters of Brandon Miller, Nick Richards, Cody Martin, Josh Green, Mitchich. Let's start with the top guys. Brandon Miller, I think, is great spot here going up against Chicago. One of the best matchups, or fastest paced teams in the league. Should play big. I love Brandon Miller tomorrow with no LaMelo Ball. I think Nick Richards, good spot for him as well. Going to play mid-20s minutes to around 30 minutes. Think he's fine. No real strong takes with Nick Richards. Cody Martin's priced right. Josh Green's playable, and I really like Mitchich. Now, we did see the one game where he got trolled, but 35, 34 minutes. Good point per minute guy that's going to stuff the stat sheet. So, really like Mitchich for value. Really like Brandon Miller. Indifferent on like Nick Richards, Cody Martin. I think Josh Green is playable. Keep an eye on like these bench pieces as well. They could have to run a bit tighter, and then that could change some things as well. If we get Miles in, I would assume just Cody Martin goes back to the bench. Miles at 6K, as long as there's no limit, I'd really like him at this price point, and I still would really like Brandon Miller, although he'll take a hit, and then still would like Mitchich, and then like these bench values would just be a lot worse. Moving on to Chicago, it's just a mess right now. It's really hard to tell. Vooch questionable, Giddey questionable, Patrick Williams questionable, Lonzo Ball probable. It's really hard to say. If we get like a situation with all these guys out, we know what we're doing. Then Zach LaVine looks great. Then Kobe White looks great. I will be fine. You'll see a lot more like Buzelis at 3.6K. He'd be a good value. Jalen Smith would be in Duke. I would assume Sanago would get the backup 5. He'd be firmly in play as a mid-price value. Did I mention THT? He'll probably get more run. And then, yeah, there would be a lot to like here on Chicago if we get all these guys out. If we get everyone in, then I'm not as excited about this team. I think I like Vooch just because the spot's really, really good and the ceiling's massive. good score, probably going to get you a double-double. I like the matchup. Levine would be playable at 7-8. I wouldn't mind that, but I wouldn't be as excited about Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, and then these bench values would be out of play for me as well. So that's really important news there for Chicago. Let's move on to Brooklyn. Good spot here for Brooklyn. They're going to be without Cam Thomas and Zaire Williams. Last game they went with Dennis Schroeder, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Keon Johnson. But Keon Johnson didn't play as much. They're just going to ride the hot hand with the bench. Go to Jalen Wilson, Shake Milton, Trendon Watford. They're all going to get some run, but Keon didn't play as well. Ben Simmons I'm not as excited about. I do like Nick Claxton quite a bit. 33 minutes last game. Good point per minute guy, has double-double upside. I would say 33 minutes is a bit of an outlier, but I would expect anywhere from high 20s to low 30s, which makes him a little bit too cheap at 5'9". I like the ceiling on the top guys here. I think they are kind of more priced right, though. But with no Cam Thomas, no Zaire, there's a ton of usage to go around. Fine spot here for these guys as well. So top three guys look pretty damn good to me, even though they are priced up. Moving on to Memphis, I hate this team. I think Marcus Smart's a really good value. I actually think he's one of the better value plays on the slate. I would expect low 20s minutes here, good point per minute guy. So, like Marcus Smart there. Ja Morant should play low 30s minutes. This price point, definitely a bit too cheap. So, pretty high on Ja. I think he's, if we look at the price points, let's look at the price points around him. I think he's one of the better plays in this area between Tyrese Maxey, Halliburton, these type guys. So yeah, I think Ja is definitely a bit too cheap. What else do we have here? Some interest in Bane. I would say he's similar. I think I'd rather play a Miles Bridges if Miles Bridges is not a limit, but some interest there. And then yeah, with everyone healthy, I think they're more so priced right on this team. Here we go. Tough matchup up against Minnesota, but LeBron out. I don't expect Austin Reeves to play here. Hayes out, Vanderbilt out, Christian Wood out. So you should get starters of AD, Ruby, Connect, Christie, Gabe Vincent. Now, you have to factor in there's definitely some blowers here, although Minnesota's been a bit underwhelming this season, but no LeBron James. AD is one of the best spend-ups on the board. I don't care. It's a tough matchup going up against Minnesota. They're just going to run a ton of offense through him. He's going to have to do a ton more offensively. Hopefully this game should stay competitive. He is a nuke. I love Anthony Davis tomorrow. If D'Lo comes off the bench or starts, I still think he's a pretty good play at 6.1K. I would expect at least 30 minutes for him. If he comes off the bench, he's going to be their number one on offense, and he's going to facilitate a ton. So, I still like D'Lo regardless of his role, if it's off the bench or he starts. Rui Hachimura at 5.5K, really solid point per dollar value, going to project probably around 29, 30 fantasy points. He looks good. My only issue with Dalton Connect is he can get played off the court. So, if he's really popular tomorrow, you could make the argument to fade, because they haven't closed with him a couple games because he gets played off the court, but the ceiling is there. Just overall tough matchup. I like these values. I think Christie, Gabe Vincent are fine punts for value. Moving on to Minnesota, I really kind of like Naz Reid for value on this slate, where we don't have a ton of value. Range of outcomes, up and down, but great point per minute guy off the bench, and it's a great spot for him. So Finch has given some weird quotes where they want to play him more at the 3. He hasn't really done that yet, but we could see him play a bit more minutes. I wouldn't be shocked by that. But yeah, on this slate, we're not a ton of value. I'm expecting modest ownership for Naz Reid tomorrow, so I am pretty high on Naz Reid in GPPs tomorrow. I like Mike Conley for value at 4.7. She'll play 25 to 30 minutes. Don't mind him. Dante's been really bad. Randall's fine. And I think it's a good contrarian spend up, and you guys always know my takes on Rudy Gobert. I'm always a huge fan of Rudy Gobert in GPPs. Just no one plays him. The minutes are always massive. Good shot blocker. Only risk here is definitely foul trouble going up against AD. NAW and Dante, I don't mind them as contrarian values either, now that the price points are down. Alright, I absolutely love James Harden and Zubac tomorrow. I think they're two of my favorite plays on the slate. I absolutely love both. No Derrick Jones Jr., no Kawhi Leonard. I love James Harden tomorrow. I think Zubac is great as well. Norm Powell, keep an eye on if he's not on a limit or not. If he's not limited, I think he's solid. Would like him quite a bit. No Derrick Jones Jr., you're going to get more run for Chris Dunn. I like Chris Dunn for value. Amir Coffey. Kevin Porter Jr. is fine. What else do we have here? I think that's mainly it. Main standouts to me here are Chris Dunn. Love James Harden and love Zubac tomorrow. Two of my favorite plays on the board. Moving on to Denver, we have Braun and Aaron Gordon, both probable. Jamal Murray is questionable. Jokic, one of the best bumps on the board. He looks phenomenal. Him, AD, it's close. I would say AD looks a little bit better point per dollar just because you have Jokic at 12.5 now, but Yeah, if Jamal Murray's out, I'm probably going to make it a priority to try to get to Jokic tomorrow. At least 180 Jokic, I think you should be playing tomorrow. And yeah, Westbrook would look great. Bump to MPJ. I think Aaron Gordon's just way too cheap at 5.5K. Assuming he gets his normal run. So really like Aaron Gordon. And then if Jamal's out, some interest in Strother. And then yeah, really like Westbrook. So and if Murray's in, off Westbrook, I think these secondary plays are just Still would like Aaron Gordon though. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it, guys. Just keep an eye on news. We could have more news coming in. I refreshed Underdog before making this video. I think I caught up to most of it. But yeah, it's going to do it. Hopefully you guys had a good night, and I will, as always, talk to y'all in the next video.